Hello everybody and welcome to my first tutorial for Software Inc. So today what I'm going to be doing is explaining how marketing the game works because I don't think it's very clear, and you might have gotten articles in the Software Times that are saying things like, oh, player company wants to show us their product again. Player company won't shut up about their product. And then maybe you struggle to get followers, you're not getting unavoidable, you're not getting that many sales when the product drops, right? So this guide is designed to help you do marketing the way that the game rewards you most for it. So the first thing that you're going to want to know is, let's talk about release dates. So if you're like me, you didn't really understand release dates when you started playing this game. You just think to yourself, I should probably announce a release date because that's what companies do. I definitely need to have the product out by then, but you don't really know much else about it besides that. So let me tell you how release dates in Software Inc. actually work. So what does a release date do? What a release date does is it does something called activating the marketing window. Now, what is the marketing window? The marketing window, it will change its length depending on your difficulty. So for hard or medium, it's 2 years. You can check what it is for their difficulties, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm playing on hard. Most of you probably play on hard or medium, so it's 2 years. Now, what does it actually do? What is the marketing window? What does it do? Essentially, what it does is, at least from what I can understand, it gives you a boost in terms of your marketing actions during that time, right? So if you set your release date 3 years into the future, you're not going to get any boost to followers from press releases, press builds, anything after the first 2 years have passed, right? So in my opinion, there's not really any point in setting it, first of all, at all, until you're almost done with designing, because you're going to have to keep up your follower count with hype. Um, so there's just no point. You want to give yourself as much time to develop it as possible and hit your target, right? So anyway, for the purposes of this tutorial, I've got this product, Market Pro. It's a 2D editor I'm making right now, and it's in design iteration 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is, and what you should do, there are 3 phases to development: design, alpha, and then beta, right? What you want to do is, essentially, you want to create a press release for the design phase, for the alpha phase, and then for beta, you want to release a press build. That's essentially what you want to do, and you want to make sure that you're going to release the product within the marketing window. So we're just going to go ahead and continue now, and I'm going to demonstrate for you exactly how that would look. It's not too complex, but that's essentially what you want to do. Okay, so now we have reached the end of what I'm going to do for iterations. That's up to you how many iterations you want to do. I'll cover that in another video, the ideal amount. But for the purposes of this tutorial, it's out of the scope. So we've reached the end of what I'm going to do for designing the design phase. So now that I've reached the end, I'm going to announce the release date. And I'm just going to set it for 2 years in the future. So April of 1988 will be fine because the product will be out by then. So I'm just setting it for the marketing window. And before you press develop, you're going to want to do release your press release. Okay? Boom. Already the follower count goes up. And then you want to start developing and immediately write another press release so that that's ready to release when you need it to be. So you're going to let the product develop. And as you saw, the follower count went up, right? So another thing that you're going to want to do, as soon as you release your first press release, ideally on the same day that you announce the release date, you're going to want to start hyping, right? Now you can see below hyping, if you minimize it, your press release gives you a certain percentage increase of followers on top of the base. So we started with 80 something, and now we're up to 94, right? Pushing up to 100 now. What hyping is going to do is it's going to keep that follower count from decreasing. As you can see, the percentage is rapidly dropping, the amount of people following this product. But hype is essentially just going to keep it from going below what it eventually reaches. So let's say it eventually reaches 130 followers. Hype is going to keep it from dropping much past that, which is important because a rough estimate of what followers actually does for your product is one follower equals roughly 1,000 or so sales. Now, don't quote me on that, but each follower is pretty valuable. Um, and insofar as followers go, another thing that you should know is Well, what determines your amount of followers that you're getting, right? Ideally, if you're releasing a level 3 press release with pictures, text, and video, that will probably increase the amount of followers that you get as opposed to level 1 or 2. But another big thing that impacts the amount of followers that you get on any product is your market recognition and your amount of fans. So fans don't have any impact on your sales, as the tooltip says, but it will make it easier to gain market recognition. And market recognition is essentially what's going to make your products sell and win out over your competitors, right? So this is big, basically. This will impact your fan count from all your marketing actions. So we've just about reached the end of the alpha phase here. So we've already released our first press release, and that was InDesign. So now that we've reached the end of alpha, we're going to release our next press release. Then we're going to hit promote, and now we're in beta. Again, just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and put the dev teams on crunch, just to fix as many bugs as possible. And I'm going to start printing copies. Well, let's just say 100,000. Okay. So again, follower count goes up. We're fixing bugs. Everything's going all right. Just go ahead and put everyone on that. And the last thing that you're going to want to do is send out a press build. And this will actually have the biggest boom in the amount of followers. And you're going to want to do that roughly a month to 3 months before you release the product. Now, if we go to the Software Times, the newspaper in the game, we take a look at what it's saying about our marketing, we can see there's nothing negative about it now, right? Player Company has sent out a press release about their product, currently being developed, cutting edge, press release sounds great, right? And if you go back, it says cutting edge, this was the first press release back in design. They used the video, sounds great. Nothing negative, nothing saying like, oh, they're sending out too many press releases, they won't shut up about the product, right? You're getting nothing like that. This indicates to me that the game is happy with the way that you're marketing. So we just sent out our press build. So let's take a look at what they have to say about that. It should come right there. Ready to show up Market Pro. Let's see what they have to offer. This is the final press build, right? Not just the press release. If you haven't heard about it, might be the new big hit and has all the new features. Still a bit off from this. So the reason why they're saying like, oh, we haven't heard about it is because my market recognition in 2D editor is quite low. And market recognition in this game actually increases very slowly. So you're probably going to get messages like that for about the first 10 to 15 years of the game, depending on how many products you're putting out for each type, right? So don't worry about that, but you're doing marketing right anyways. And as you can see, if you look at the hype, right, we're not losing followers. We got an almost 200% increase. So we're now up to 500 followers and counting. I mean, it's going up quite quick. So what you're going to do next is obviously release the product. And it really depends on your personal circumstances when you're going to want to do that. But I suppose the most optimal way to do it would be to wait until you're almost losing followers and then hit release. So we're going to wait until this percentage increase drops down to sub 10%. And then we're going to release the product. So I'll be right back when we do it. So we're back, and as you can see, the amount of followers is dropping. And I did notice that as the percentage increase goes down, it actually starts ticking down slower. So just something to keep in mind. So we've pretty much reached the max amount of followers we're going to get from effective marketing of this product. Okay? So another thing that I like to do, and this isn't really related to marketing, but just a general tip, is when you release it, try to release it around midnight of whatever that month is, just at the beginning of the day. So we'll go ahead and release it. It's a great product. And now what I recommend you do is do a marketing campaign and set it to unlimited budget. And this is because your product will initially start as sparse. I haven't found a way to change that. I think this may also be part of market recognition. You have great market recognition, you're going to get more followers, and that may increase this from sparse. But really, it's not too big a deal. If I were you, I would just assign your marketing teams, hire great marketers, and let them market the product, right? But we've gone ahead and released it, and that is how you do ideal marketing. And if we go ahead and we take a look at the product, the reason why I said to release at midnight is because then you want to update your products. Usually your tech won't be at the highest level if you took a year or so to develop your product, maybe longer. So that's why you want to release it early so you can get that update out the same month, right? And this is going to increase the competitiveness with other products in the market and make sure that your product's up to date. And there you go. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what happens when the month ticks over. How much are we rewarded for our marketing efforts? Okay, so the month is just about to tick over. As you can see, we have negative 900K in profits. This is from marketing and development fees. Um, Suggested price is accurate. The tech's been updated. I haven't put it on an exclusivity deal, so I'm trying to expose this product to as many consumers as possible. And then I also did a porting task, so it's been ported to as many OSs as I can get it. And as you can see, I have around 2.5 stars of market recognition in the 2D editor space. So not great, but should do all right. We did release another one earlier this year, so that may handicap sales, but nonetheless, you can see we made around 720K, and I think right around release, we had something like 1,300 fans. We sold around 13,000 units, so maybe it's, I don't know how that works, but that is how you do ideal marketing. So thank you for watching, and I will be uploading more guides soon. So if you like this, then stay tuned for more.